Every year, hundreds of new PlayStation games get released in Japan and Europe. Many of these games are chosen for licensing and distribution in North America. You're about to meet some of the people at PlayStation who search the world for the best games to import. You'll learn how that search is conducted and how an overseas game is made ready for North America in a process called localization. The search for new games starts here with PlayStation's manager of software licensing in the U.S.
We basically comb our markets worldwide to find the best products that are available. We really don't restrict ourselves to U.S. Or Japan or Europe. We go all over the world. I have counterparts in London as well as in Japan, and each of those people have a group under them. Here in the U.S., 4 people report to me. We are responsible, our group is responsible for bringing in third-party developed software to be marketed under the first-party lineup. Basically, we are here to expand our PlayStation market, and we want very good games to be noticed. We have a very strong marketing and sales arm. We're here to provide that to any good game that deserves it. Last year, in the year 1997, we reviewed about 80 games or so. On average, we sign on anywhere around 10 to 15 games per year. First, a game gets evaluated from the context or gameplay point of view. If it doesn't play well, if the players, the producers, the QA people, the people who are really the game players don't like it, it becomes problematic. There are exceptions to that if it's a totally new genre type of game, such as Parappa the Rapper. We may try different angles, actually focus test it, or bring in people who are not your traditional gamers to see if we can open up a new market. But in any event, we first look at the end user wants or desires. And then if it passes that, we then discuss this with our sales and marketing group, who would be backing us up on the product. And if we get people on board in that end, we eventually get overall management approval. When a product goes through that meeting, before it gets picked up, it needs to really take advantage of the first-party marketing and distribution and show what the PlayStation has to offer. At that meeting, if the product does not get picked up by Sony, the product can still come out in the U.S. Through a separate publisher, what we call third-party publishers.
If a game is chosen for first-party marketing support, another team, software development, gets it ready for you to play.
In localization, the first course of action is for the producer to get very familiar with the game and recommend changes that he or she would like to see in the game for the U.S. market. A good example of this might be in Bloody Roar. Some of the changes that we made was to include sidestep as a default move. And we think that American gamers will appreciate that. A game that might come over from Japan or Europe may be too difficult or too easy, and we will want to tune that difficulty by changing enemy AI, artificial intelligence, enemy difficulty.
Corner the enemy as expected. We'll leave the rest up to you.
An example of where we did a graphic change was in Cool Borders 2. We changed the loading screens from a Japanese anime storytelling type of style to something that we felt was more cool and hip for the American audience. And in addition, we do the text changes and some of the voiceover will change as well. Generally speaking, a localization effort can take roughly 3 months.
Go! Get pumped up! Drop in and get 50 back! Yeah,
The search for good new games from overseas never stops. You can help the search by giving these teams your input.
I think the PlayStation Underground subscribers are very aware and knowledgeable about what's out there, and I would really love to get their help in trying to find products that have a wider range appeal to the American market. We would love to hear from the Underground subscribers, and as such, we have an email address that you can contact.
Do you know about a hot overseas game you'd like to see localized for North America? Let us know. Email or write us at these addresses.